Today I'm going to explain to you how I unpacked grade 4 math standards NBT.B.5. So why is it important to unpack a standard? In order to successfully help students achieve mastery of standards, teachers need to be able to understand exactly what is involved in that standard and what students need to be able to do. This is not so easily done when the standards have a lot of information in a very short space. So teachers need to consider what each part of the standard involves and what each skills are required of the students. It is important for teachers to consider that the standards as written are not in hierarchical order and that some standards overlap with others and some standards need to be covered at multiple points throughout the year. So let's have a look for the standard. So first of all, we have multiply and multiply. Then we have using, illustrate and explain, and using again. So what do we need to multiply? Well, first of all, we need to be able to multiply a whole number of up to 4 digits by a 1-digit number. The students also need to be able to multiply two 2-digit numbers using strategies based on place value and properties of operations. They also need to illustrate and explain their calculation using equations, rectangular arrays, and area models. Then we should break down the standards into the different skills. So, first of all, they need to multiply a whole number of up to 4 digits by a 1-digit number, or they need to multiply a 2-digit number by another 2-digit whole number. Okay, and in the process, they need to be able to find the product. So what strategies do the students need to use to multiply whole numbers? If we look at multiplying a whole number of up to 4 digits by a 1-digit whole number using place value and properties of operations, they need to do it by using equations, they need to use it using area models, and they need to do it using rectangular arrays. And the same goes for 2-digit numbers, equations, area models, and rectangular arrays. In order for the students to successfully begin work towards mastering standard, they'll need to have mastered the following. They'll need to be able to remember and be able to recall multiplication facts. They will need to know the properties of operations. They'll need to understand place value and recognize that a 4-digit number in a particular place value represents 10 times the same digit in a place value to the right. They'll need to be able to regroup numbers. They'll need to understand how visual models can be represented by equations. They'll need to understand and use arrays and area models. And they should be able to order and group to multiply. Teachers need to identify which of these students have not yet mastered these skills and provide reteaching or remediation to help the students. Okay, so how is this relevant to grade 4 learning objectives? This is one of the key standards for grade 4 math. The students learn to combine a number of the strategies that have been developed prior to grade 4 and during unit 1 and 2 of the Ready Math curriculum. Their ability to multiply multi-digit whole numbers will be a skill they'll need throughout the rest of life. For example, in the next part of the maths, they will be using this to convert and compare measurement data, such as distance, volume, and mass. And they will also learn some critical thinking skills, some strategies, how to break a problem down. Okay, so what are the big ideas and essential questions? What skill do we need to master? The students need to be able to identify the skills they need to master. Students will be able to identify and use strategies in order to perform these skills and master them. So the students should ask themselves what strategies work best for them. And what strategies are the easiest to master? Which strategy is the easiest to check for mistakes? And finally, which strategy is going to work for multiplying large numbers together as they move forward? So to help students do this, we can model the strategies. And this will give explicit instruction of how to do it and break it down into step by step. So let's have a look at it for an example. So what is a product of 3 and 254? We can use an array of base 10 blocks to help them multiply. So here we've got the 254, and it has been 3 times. So we've got 2, 4, 6 hundredths. And then we've got 5, 10, 15 tenths, and 4, 8, 12 ones, which shows us that 3 times 254 is 600 plus 150 plus 12, which gives us the final product of 662. Once we finish modeling, we can do guided paired and independent practice. Through the use of homogeneous small group differentiated instruction. So small group instruction is often done using diagnostic, formative, and previous summons assessments to assess what prior knowledge they have. And then the teacher selects content and plans guided instruction that is appropriate for students in each group. Teachers can use various materials such as websites, and they can also use resources such as manipulatives. In this case, this teacher can use place value tables, counter tokens, or base 10 box to help them physically model using different strategies. Then the students would also do pair and independent work during math-centered time, and you can use a variety of different materials such as workbooks, online practice, math board games, manipulatives, or worksheets taken either from a physical space or a virtual space and posted on the physical space and a virtual space, project-based learning, and escape rooms. So we give students a choice of how they want to appropriate, and we assign work that is appropriate to their current ability levels. Through doing this, we develop various 21st century skills such as critical thinking, collaboration, communication, technology literacy, flexibility, leadership, productivity, and social skills. And in order to properly assess whether students are meeting standards, we can use a proficiency scale such as the one shown here. And this is similar to a rubric. Then we need to provide the students with summative assessments, and typically the curriculum we're using gives them mid-module assessments and end-of-module assessments. We can also do end-of-lesson assessments if needed. And personally, I prefer to create summative assessments using a variety of sources to make sure it's balanced. Okay. We should also modify assessments depending on the students. So students assign problems that are appropriate for their current ability. Students struggling with prior knowledge will gain remediation and small guided math groups. Okay, so students that can only work online, they could be provided assignments on Google Docs or using sites such as Khan Academy or iReady. And students with learning disabilities can also be provided with additional support. And students that struggle to work in noisy or environments with a lot going on might be able to be sent with a teaching specialist for high-stakes summative assessments. Here are my sources.